I think mainly your European family offices have been around a lot longer just in general. And I think they have been more active if you really look at the charts. I think in the US, I think the charts are about 47% for US, if I remember correctly. And I think that's you have a lot of young entrepreneurs now, a lot of younger people who've hit it out of the ballpark, and they want to be active in the investing side, and they learn and they do things differently. Where if you had more of the legacy family office, or somebody's between, like, say, 65 and 75, a lot of those have tended to go the more traditional route by hiring the investment managers and thinking that they're actually actively managing, when they're not. They're really just actively managing the relationship. But it all comes down to is, do you have the discipline to actively manage? Where's your areas of expertise? Because you can't have expertise in all aspects of investing. And I'll just compare. You might be a really good real estate investor in apartments, but you might not be, a really good investor in oil and gas or in tech. So, you got to be careful about what you're actively investing in and getting the right people in the room with you on the other areas that you're not as knowledgeable about or have the same experience. So I see the trend going more active in the future because of the age of the entrepreneurs and the age of the young families, and doing that because they then also want to train their children, to do this. I talked to a guy who hit out of the ballpark a couple of years ago. He was a unicorn, which means the company sold for over $1 billion. He had a substantial portion of it. His children were 7 and 5, and he was just starting to build this out. And they had a lot of goals about sustainability. They had a lot of goals in other areas. And the questions that he sent to all of the portfolio managers that he interviewed was like 16 pages long. So he's actually going to be very active because he was in the tech business. And I give him a lot of credit for continuing to do that. So he's going to try to stay on top of it. So it really depends on, the background, the education, and, the tenacity of the people. Those people tend to, they're up at 4 in the morning. They've read the Wall Street Journal by 5. They're exercising. They're ready to go. So I give them a lot of credit in doing that. So there's I think you get a lot of alpha from that. From a standpoint, you're probably also talking to people in the industry, so you can kind of see where things are going to go in the future. It's not a 100% predictor, but at the same time, the more educated you are about whatever you're investing in, you're probably in the long term, better off either getting out early or staying along the ride. That's the important aspect.